Let's normalize not having a best friend, or is that even possible in today's society? Growing up, I literally had a best friend for like every single category of my life, from primary school to secondary school. Yeah, secondary school is kind of where it stopped. I think who was my first best friend in like my whole entire life? That's a hard question. I can't remember. I have a best friend in crash. I think I did. I remember going to a few parties, but anyway, my first best friend from my memory, I can remember. She was my absolute best friend, and I was so toxic. She was such a nice girl. Call her randomly, like, I'm not best friends with you, and she just cries so much, and she'd be like, why? And yeah, I just used it as power. Like, I'm not gonna be best friends with you anymore. I was so toxic. I digress. So from having my first best friend in primary school, I realized the importance of having a best friend, and it was something I always wanted to cling to. Like, I felt like having a best friend is kind of like having a boyfriend. It's having someone that you can rely on. Not that I have a boyfriend, that not that I should know that. Anyways, yeah, I digress. Having a best friend is like someone that you can confide in. Like, good news comes into your life, you tell your best friend. Bad news comes into your life, you tell your best friend. Anything, you tell your best friend. Your parents invite you to go somewhere and say you can bring someone. My best friend. It's like that one go-to person that's always there for every aspect of your life that can fill something. And I realized that in primary school. So every chance I got to have a best friend, I ran with it. And when I didn't have a best friend, it was like, what's going on in my life? I don't have a best friend. Everyone else has a best friend. It made me like feel like crap about myself. Like, I don't have a best friend. What's wrong with me? But guys, if only junior me could see this video. I digress. Going on to secondary school now, I still had my same best friend. It's a different girl. I had about two best friends in secondary primary school. So my second best friend in primary school, me and her were still best friends. Best friends. It was a toxic relationship. Me and her were still best friends in like secondary school for like the first 2 years. And when I say best friend, guys, I put myself through so much pain with this girl. I put myself through all this pain only because I didn't want to lose my best friend. I didn't want to lose my right hand man. But was she acting like a best friend? No, she was so toxic. I was so toxic. It was not a good friendship whatsoever. But the thought of losing her, and especially like because we've been friends since primary school, so that just made the best friend connection deeper. And every time people said, let me just say her name is Pat, because I don't know anyone called Pat. Actually, I do, but I don't really know them. So it was always Fetty and Pat, Fetty and Pat, Fetty and Pat. And like the thought of losing that bond, like, was just like, it's unbearable. I'm gonna fight for this friendship. But she didn't want to fight for that friendship. She was tired of me. She was fed up with me. We're going different ways. We're changing. And I couldn't accept the fact that we were both changing into different people. I just wanted to fight for this friendship. And I'd have nights where I was crying, I was upset, I was hurt. The thought of letting her go was absolutely so heartbreaking to me. But then came along other people and I became best friends with them. So it was easier to let go of her. So that's why I stopped being friends with her, because I met other best friends. But with this my new friendship group, I realized what I'm speaking about now, that you don't need to have a best friend, because I tried to put that standard on them. My other friend did not understand the assignment. Let's just say that she had no clue what chapter, what topic the assignment was on. She did not understand. So my new friends, I kind of wanted to put that pressure on them, but they were just like, honey, you know. So I kind of realized, okay, you can be friends with people and not look for a best friend. So I had a close friend, so I just always had in my back of my mind, okay, she's my best friend. Even though I didn't like tell her she was my best friend, I just had in the back of my mind, okay, she's my best friend. That girl's my best friend. But then when time went on, I realized, bro, I don't have a best friend and I'm still alive. I don't have a best friend and my life is still moving on. And I realized that all the pressure and pain I put myself through, all in the name for the sake of a best friend, it's not worth it. It's like when people, they really don't want to let go of their boyfriend or girlfriend, all for the sake of I have a boyfriend. Same with best friends sometimes. You can really put yourself through toxic relationships because you don't want to let go. You're like, no, we have history. That was my best friend in this time. She was there for me this. Yes, that's nice. But let it go, sis, because you don't need to put yourself through pain for the sake of having a best friend. First of all, I just want to say that there's nothing wrong with having best friends, okay? Personally, for me, I don't have a best friend. It's such a cringy title. I feel like it's something that you do when you're like in second class. I don't have a best friend, but I have really, 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 really close friends. And you know the good thing about having close friends and not best friends is because best friend basically implies that this person will be riding for you when you need them. You need shelter, this person will put shelter over your head. You need food, this person will feed you. You need money, this person will finance you. You need a car, this person will drive you. That's what best friend implies. Like, they're going to do the best for you. Like, they're going to be the best solution or whatever. Well, that's how I see it anyway. And you can't put that pressure on people. You can't expect people to run the extra mile for you, especially when they're not family. Like, you can't, like, I wouldn't want someone to put that pressure on me. Like, say someone's like, oh, if I use my best friend, I believe that if I'm struggling financially, she'll be able to help me. But what if I'm struggling too and I don't have money? Or something like, oh, I know if I use my best friend, she's gonna do, like, I'm gonna try my best to support you and love you, but I'm not gonna put myself in a detrimental situation to do that. I'm gonna do as much as God tells me to do and as much as I can, especially if I don't agree as well. And with best friends, like, you guys are always on the same page. You're my best friend, you have to do that. You're my best friend, how can you not do that? So I realized, like, with close friends, it's just someone you're close to. The relationship is close, but they're not like the best people in your whole life. So I just see my friends as close friends. That's all. And I have many close friends. I have a lot of people that I could possibly call my best friend, but I don't want to put that pressure on them or put it on myself as well. Because then if they do something, I'll just like, wow, and they were my best friend. And it's like when your best friend does something bad to you, like that was your best friend. They were meant to be the best person in your life. But when someone is just a close friend, it's like, they were just my friend anyway. Like, I can't expect that much from them. So with the title comes so much expectation, and personally for me, it's not something I can live with. I can't live with putting that much pressure on someone. Maybe when I get married, my husband will be my best friend, because at the end of the day, we're legally in this together, baby. But like, friendship wise now, I can't do it because it hurts a lot more when they hurt you. If they don't do simple things, like for example sharing your Instagram picture, like that hurts because you're just like, my best friend didn't share my Instagram picture, my best friend didn't comment, my best friend didn't like. But if you just see people as your close friends, just like, okay. So that title, like, if you want to live in that way, you can do it. I have nothing against best friends. I think it's super cute, especially when you've had someone from young that's never failed you. But personally for me, just that title alone has trapped me so many times, feeling like I have to continue riding with people that I don't have to, all for the sake of I want to keep our friendship and I want to make sure this person is still my best friend. And yeah, just no, for me personally. So the whole point of this video, my point I'm trying to get across is that it's okay to not have a best friend. And maybe this is such like an obvious revelation to me, but maybe it's something new to you, especially if you're younger, you're older, like girl, boy. Like, you don't need to keep holding on to that person for the sake of knowing that you have that number one person there. God is your number one person. Your family, I hope so anyway, can be your number one person there. You have other people that want to support you, and just because you don't have that number one person, like you can't identify someone in your brain that's your best friend, doesn't mean that you're not loved, doesn't mean that people don't care for you, doesn't mean that someone else won't take up that role of supporting you in times of need. If it's hurting you to have a best friend, then normalize not having one. It's weird because like, I think I have like ranked up friends now that are like in the best friend category, but I don't even name them best friends. So like, I do have friends that I know will pray for me. I do have friends I know if I say, can we go here, they'll come with me. And I do have friends I can FaceTime, but I just don't put that pressure and that title of them on them as best friend. I just see them as my close friend, a blessing from God, because I don't want to hurt them or myself, because people are bound to fail and people are bound to fall beneath your standards. So I don't want to put such a high standard on them that's not fair, that they never even said they'll be able to comply to. Like, bro, we never got married and we never vows to each other, so I don't want to put that on them. I digress. Just because you don't have a best friend does not mean that you don't have other friends, and your other friends can be just important and fill the same position that someone else's best friend will do. So if it's hurting you and if you're forcing it, like, oh, I don't have a best friend, I'm weird, I don't have a person that would go this and here and there with me, it's okay. It's okay. Honestly, let's normalize not having that type of person in our life, especially if it's hurting us, especially if it's putting pressure on us, especially if it makes everything 10 times worse if they don't do it. It's okay to not have a best friend. I don't have a best friend, and that's okay. It should be normalized, especially like when I was younger. If I could just watch this video, I'd save myself so much hurt, feeling like, oh, I don't have a best friend, that's weird. Like, oh no, people don't like see me and another person together, like that's weird. But I had other friends in my life, and just because they weren't the best friend doesn't mean anything. Like, it's just a title at the end of the day. People are people, and we know who would go the extra length for us and who wouldn't when we need it. But at the end of the day, God is our bestest friend in the whole wide world. Before I conclude this video, I just want to pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, I pray that you let everyone know watching on the other side of this screen, even me know, Lord, that you are our best friend, God. You're the bestest friend that we could have ever made, God. And you said that it's not good for man to be alone, Lord. So you give us a helper and you give us a friend, Lord. You said friendship is good. So I pray that this person will be able to find friendship and fellowship and find someone that does care for them and find someone that will go the extra length for them, Lord. I pray that if it's not their family, it will be another person and another person, God. But the key, Lord, please help this person to never feel alone. Just because that best friend position is not filled, Lord, I pray that you will fill it. I pray that you will bring other humans and other people to fill it and just make them feel loved and know that they're not alone. Amen. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next discussion.